know what time it is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's time
for Just Our Opinion Guys, episode 18. We have in the building.
Shout out to the man them, shout out to the guy them.
We have Kimberly Santos in the building.
What up?
And you know you got, yeah boy. I don't even know what to call myself in here.
Big John,
It's just
AKA.
The Dog Destroyer.
Big John, Little John, Dark Destroyer,
AKA.
Chocolate Thunder, all that good stuff. Get with them sugar. We were singing Sesame Street, and I just realised when I was singing the numbers, I'm going to start off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I went 11, 12, and I realised I missed out 10. So how does it actually go?
I didn't even realise. Wait,
One,
no.
go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I don't know. That
That's
sounded
how it goes.
Sound a little bit offbeat. Sound a little bit, Lincolnshire-esque.
Right now,
yeah.
so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, it didn't go like that.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, to dead off the the
Do you know, can I just say, me and John are supposed to be singers right
you
now.
just put that YouTube search
At the end
quick.
of the show,
Yeah.
put the actual way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
actually
could do
goes.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
was it Count Dracula that started that, or was it someone?
No.
No.
One.
Yeah.
Two.
Ah.
And Big Bird. We're saying which was our favourite characters. Big Bird! That's my favourite character. Even though Big Bird was blatantly like on some different level, weren't comfortable with his sexuality or her sex. Big Bird might have been the first transgender person, you know.
Remember
Big
and he
Bird.
had the two other puppets that everyone thought were gay.
Oh,
You
Ben
remember?
Annie.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that man. Oh my gosh, but
They might have been gay, but
definitely
he was
couple.
Big Bird was, I think, the first tranny on TV, like real talk. Anyway, sorry.
We digress.
We digress as always. How was your week, man? How was your
my
weekend?
week was calm. Just been hustling. Got sick again, but other than that, I'm all good. Shout out to Swag London. They had a sick event in Cafe 1001 in Whitechapel that I couldn't go to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they had a sick year. They won, I think his young entrepreneur kind of award.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Reese and shout out to Els.
What, Swag London?
Swag London is a clothing company.
Okay.
And they've done a lot of work with a lot of like artists to get their stuff out there. So people like
Oh yeah, that's the hoodie he was wearing on
Oh, yeah,
I've got
that's
some
right,
hate.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, I was a little bit hating. Like,
What's their
because
socials?
I don't know why mad people were like liking his shout out. Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
and the one you cut
I was
my
like,
head
fuck
off.
you. Oh.
The one that you cut my head off as well. So no.
I was like, no, I didn't
Yeah,
even. No, I didn't cut your head off. Like when I'm posting stuff, I film it on Instagram, on one of the on the story. So then when you pull it onto the I just press save and then I upload it on the other thing. It just chops the shit off every single time.
I saw Kim's body and her face.
Yeah, because now it was
there.
the way Kim's like a midget, so it's never gonna cut her head off.
Thank you.
And it was the way that I positioned the phone. But anyway,
For those that don't know, that's an inside joke because Kim's like 6'2".
Yeah.
in real life,
Yeah.
Should back you up. But shout out to Swag London. Shout out to Swag London.
Yeah. So the
Socials,
socials I can't
yeah.
remember off head, but I'll make sure it'll be in the description.
Cool.
Sweet.
Kim, what you been up to this week? Weekend, life in general.
Yeah, it's been good. I took my daughter to Winter Wonderland.
How's it?
I've heard a lot of good things.
It's great for kids. Kids love it, but you have to bring about £50 there because it is very expensive. The rides, they're about £5 each per ride. So
What?
Yeah.
So what is there entry fee on top of all of
No,
this?
it's free entry. But
Okay.
then you obviously
Well,
want to
I
go.
think
If
it's
you
just
want
the
to
vibe.
bring kids, you want to bring all the ride. You
Yeah.
want to bring them on the ride. So that plus food as well. Cause you're gonna
I'm
wanna
like,
eat
you better
there.
take a video, motherfucker.
Like seriously, it's so expensive. It gets more expensive every year. I stopped hearing stuff.
Don't worry, you can
Did
still
I?
pick up.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I pressed something. Okay, yeah, so I went to Wonderland and, just been working. That's it.
On
really.
this quick side question,
Mm-hmm.
what would you prefer? A theme park where you just pay entry fee of £30, you can go on all the rides for free, or a situation you like with Winter Wonderland where the entry's free, but you gotta pay for each ride you go on?
Definitely the first option where you pay up front and then everything else is unlimited. I prefer that.
Same.
Definitely.
How
was your trip?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Where'd you go? Copenhagen?
I went.
Can I just say, wait, your trousers are really tight.
Yeah, they get tighter and tighter by the minute. I swear to God, look, watch. Look at that. I don't know what happened. I washed them, and then they just got tight, and I couldn't be bothered to stretch them out.
Like you've been doing squats, fam. You've been hitting the gym, fam.
Nah, it's my calves. It's my big ass calves. Massive calves. I always have massive calves. But anyway, they're not. I have to pull down my trousers to make it.
You actually got really slim legs. Well, considering like.
Jeez, hey, we're on the podcast. Like, sorry, Kim is just accosting me wearing some. Anyway, Copenhagen was really dope. I went out with some of my boys. Never been on holiday with them. Oh, apart from Des, I have been away with Des actually. Tell a lie. But yeah, my friend Roxy, Dan, Des, we all went to Copenhagen. We had a great time. Got to do some sightseeing. No one thinks that I do sightseeing, which they'll be absolutely right because I don't. Yeah, I'm about nightlife only. But since I was going with the married men crew, yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, actually, they're not married men. Roxy might as well be married in his mind. Yeah. And these guys are more cultured than me, shall we say? Yeah. So I was like, you know what? These are my boys. I'm gonna live like my boys. So, we went for a nice walk along the river. We went to a museum, art gallery.
How romantic.
Exactly. And then we were, the first night we went to the meatpacking district. Okay. Met up with one of my friends, Nadia. Shout out to Nadia. Had some few drinks there. It was a cool night. Some girl... I'm never going to talk about that. There were some crazy people out there. Second day, I just hung back. Them guys went into a place called Christiana. It's called Christiana Freetown, the part that they went to. Yeah. And it's like a bunch of, pretty much, I would say before it was hippies. It's like an unlawed part of Copenhagen. So you can buy, sell, smoke weed and all of that. Yeah. So it's just so them mans went there. They had a good time. I just chilled at the house. Then we went out to what I can describe as a youth club. The first club we didn't get into. The second club we went to, and I went to go and see Denzel Curry perform during the week just before I left. Yeah. And then he was performing at the same club. And I was like, are you following me, guys? And it's just youths that come to your concerts, you know what I mean? So it was youths that were in the club. So that wasn't my greatest moment. And then like at 5:15 in the morning, but them guys had already left me. Like within the first 45 minutes of the club, they I don't even know where they were. I was out here in these streets, as we say. So I'm trying to make this a Rubik's Cube work. Okay, you're saying no, alright, see you later. You saying okay, see you later. Until the right one comes. So I met this nice little Spanish joint. I don't do well with Spanish girls at all. But
we'll keep trying. You know what I mean?
We was in there like swimwear, we were doing all the dancing. She was another midget like Kim. Definitely your height. 100% your height.
Me a midget?
That's right.
Remember, she's 6'2".
Vertically challenged.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
I'm
So
6'2".
I'm dancing, hurting my back, and then we're lip-syncing and all of this stuff. Then she's with another girl, just blonde thing. Her blonde. This other girl in the club comes up to her friend and goes, "Oh, I know your boyfriend, he's been cheating on you." Next you know, she's arguing with this girl. Next you know, some next dude goes, "Yeah, I know your boyfriend as well, and I know that he's cheating on you."
Hold on. Is this
not my one, her friend, that she's with.
I was about to ask the same question.
Yeah.
So now what's happened is my one is coming back to my place.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But now it's come back from my place to me waiting around for half an hour while she's talking to her friend, trying to console her, to... "Oh, I'm really sorry, but my friend wants me to come back to..." Outside. We went outside. Yeah. I said, "Talk to your Rachel. She's a big woman, yeah? She don't need you. She ain't a child." She goes, "Okay, let me talk to her." Another half an hour passes, yeah? Some ex-boyfriend of the girl that's crying or whatever bumps into him. Then they start talking. I was like, "Fam, it's 5:15 now. The rain started to hit my head." I was like, "Let's go." What we did?
Yeah.
"Oh no, I can't. She's like, take my number, you're such a nice guy. But I was like, I told you I'm going home tomorrow. Why am I taking your number? I ain't trying to be Facebook friends. You ain't that. She weren't that buff. So needless to say, I just got in the Uber. Or taxi, they don't even have Uber out there.
That is
and I went home.
Another episode of John's Pitiful Love.
Well, we ain't even got there. But
God, there's more. Say nothing.
We ain't even got there.
Because I was gonna say, you know the ones where you like in situations like that, you know you're fighting upstream. Like you're already against the current, you're still trying to think, but it's hard to force the issue. And I feel you on that one, man.
I had to. You know how nice I was. Man was doing. Let me tell you. Let me paint the picture just up in you guys. I was doing salsa in the club to Afro beats. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine it myself.
I don't. No. It's easy. No, it actually. It's rhythmically makes sense, and salsa is African music anyway, with Spanish singers.
I'm not
Listen, man was doing the bad boy salsa, and imagine she's vertically challenged like him as well. Man was doing the one spin, two. Man was in there, man.
I would have loved to see.
Man did so much bits.
I would have loved to see.
This is where you need to do your Instagram.
And I don't like Afro beats, and I don't dance salsa, but I was like a professional, strictly come dancing. Man would have got really full tens across the board.
I'm sure this is all in his head.
No. I'm telling you, I would have got full tens across the board. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
And I went home by myself. It was. I ain't messing with Spanish girls no more. Forget that. You speak Spanish, you better walk away from me. Although, pitiful love life story.
Go true, but we're here.
No. That can come later on. I'll save that part. Okay. I'll save that part. I got a lot of interesting responses talking about Harry and old Meghan.
Yeah.
Merkel.
What is the correct pronunciation? Did anyone say what the
No, you know what it was? I was speaking to someone from uni and someone from a workplace. And they were like, I'm not really... One said they weren't really comfortable with the fact that people are making it a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a big deal.
And I was like, no, a big deal of that he's... No, well, I'm trying to say...
Well, the fact that she's like...
The fact that she's mixed race and going out with Harry shouldn't be a big deal. But that was, I agreed with them at that point. But then they were like, yeah, she's doing well. They said it's not a big deal, and then he goes, she's doing well for herself. Anyway,
what?
like she's moving up in class. And then I felt a little bit away. We had to have a serious discussion.
What's this person? What was this person?
She's white.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We had to have a serious discussion about that.
She's doing well for herself. Really?
Yeah. So I didn't really understand where they were going. And then there was a lot of, and then the other conversation was just like a big up on actually broaching the topic on the podcast. So people are listening and people are actually engaging. So I thought I'd like bring it up to say, you know, we're actually doing our thing. Whether we like the responses that come out of it or not, that's up on people. I can't tell them their lives. But people talking about it and we're engaging in conversations, which is good. So I like doing that, you know. So I told them, both of them, I ain't going to say their names, but I said I was going to bring it up on the podcast. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Oh, can I do a shout out to my daughter's father? I said I'd do a shout. He actually called me after he listened to the podcast where the first one I was on, and he said, "Yeah, well done," which was I thought was quite.
Shout out to.
Shout out to Big Man Ham.
Big Man Ham.
Shout out to co-parenting. Just the idea that you can actually get along.
It can work. It can work. I am an example of that. And if anyone's out there who wants to like reach out to me and see how it works. Like how it works for me, I'm more than happy to give advice. Like I actually had someone on the weekend. She's found out she's pregnant, and her and the father they just argue all the time. And she asked my advice, like how does it work with me and the father of my child? And I said, well, it comes to that point where you got to make a decision. Do you want your child in that environment? Because they're not stupid. They take in, they absorb the surroundings, the energy, and you don't want your child to be part of that. So you got to make that decision. It is hard. You do want that family unit, but sometimes it's just not worth it. You just got to do the best thing that's for your children. So
Preach, sister.
You we was driving in the whip, you know, the whip, the range, not quite a range. And you were talking about the new Spike Lee.
Yes. Oh, I've been watching this new series. I think I watched the whole series in one day. It was so good. It's Spike Lee. He's got a new series. She's Gotta Have It. He originally wrote and directed it, the film version, back in 1990 something early 90s, but he's now made a new series out of it, and it's basically about it revolves around this female artist, and she has 3 lovers, and all 3 of her lovers know about each other. She's very honest, and she has rules like to make sure she's in control of the situation. And so this show has been generating a lot of good positive feedback, especially from women, saying it's empowering. It's great to see this strong female character in the forefront, and she's a woman of colour. It's good. It's so good. But then there's also, I've been hearing a bit negative feedback from men saying it's not really empowering women, like questioning, is it really empowering for women to act like men, like as such, saying she's just a hoe, and just not seeing the bigger picture of what it really is. And I wanted to know what your thoughts of it were, like when you see a woman with multiple partners, why is she already classed as a hoe? Why is she classed as a hoe? What is classed as a hoe?
We spoke. We broached on this.
Yeah,
subject,
we touched it, but
we touched on it, but
because I got porn for this.
I'll briefly add my little take on it, and then you can step in for sure. I haven't watched it, so I'm not gonna say it's. I don't know if men are if it's trying to promote women trying to be men, because there is a lot of man culture that is wrong. So women shouldn't be trying to adopt. I'm saying that women are not shouldn't try to adopt our shortcomings.
Definitely,
because that doesn't make sense. From that, so but I haven't watched it, so I'm not saying that's what happened in the show. I just wanted to clear that up. As for terms of women with multiple partners, I think it's cool. Yeah. Absolutely fine.
Do you ever feel any way if, like, say if you
no, I tell you, me personally, I've spoken about this many a time, but any girl that knows me in that I've chirped or in an intimate way knows that I say this one line: I just want to be in your top 3. That's all I care about. I don't mind being number 1, 2, or 3 as long as I'm in the top 3. I'm cool. Yeah. So for me, that's absolutely fine as long as they're open and honest with the situation.
If it was wifey material, you found someone who was you thought would be good wifey material, but before settling down with her, and she's told you, she's been upfront that she has had multiple partners at the same time because she's not serious with any of them. How would you feel about that? Would you feel any type of way?
I wouldn't feel no way. She told me that she had more. I have a situation right now. There's a young lady. She knows who she is. She could have possibly had an application in the potential wifey thing category, but she won't. She won't get intimate because situations with she fucked one of my boys back in the day, whatever. But it's cool. But she wants to go over there. She wants to back. Yeah. She wants seriousness. Right. We have deeper conversations. But then I'm like, dude, bang whoever you want to, go on dates. But then she wasn't honest, and now she's kind of found herself a little bit of a situation with a dude. And that was annoying. If she just said it, I'm absolutely fine. Because I was like, go fuck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't bother me. It's your body, it's your life. When you're ready to get serious, then that's a whole nother. Then we're talking about if you still want to be freaky like that, but then we're talking about whole different type of relationships there. Yeah. But
can I ask, do you think males' attitudes towards women who are a bit more upfront like this and are a bit more bit more not free. What's the right word?
Forward.
Yeah, maybe forward, and they do see more than one person. Do you think the male's attitude toward these kind of women, have they, are they going along a positive route? Are they still getting the stigma of being a hoe? Like, what?
Yeah, because I've been here, like, you know, just like polishing off my silencer, ready to let off corn. First of all, let's go back to touch on the idea of a hoe. The reality is amongst men, a hoe is a promiscuous girl who either done you dirty or won't fuck you. That's pretty much what we would call a hoe. So if it's a thing where you fucked all my boys but you won't fuck me, I'd be the one to call a girl a hoe. At the same time, if I've already fucked someone who's been promiscuous and we're cool, I'm more likely to justify her actions. Like she's liberating, So most of the time, us men, we call girls hoes.
So real.
Yeah, most of the time,
real.
Yeah, we call girls hoes based on you've either done us dirty or you would fuck everyone but us. That's in terms of the actual word of the.
We can finish the podcast right now because that's what you needed to say.
But at the same time, touching on She's Got to Have, I definitely got to watch it. First of all, I love what she's about, tipping the balance. If anything, she's probably doing it better than what men are. Because
she's honest, being upfront.
Yeah, because a lot of men, I've said this before, they will twang girls based on, I'm fucking because I'm making you feel like you're my girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, no one's. It takes another level of confidence to explain to someone what it is and then let them be cool with it. So the girl even being honest, like, this is what it is, I have no problem with that. And for me personally, hoism or you beating a lot of people, if you own it, instantly it's not
it's
even a
how
problem.
you carry yourself. If you have that respect, if you are in control of the situation, I don't think there's any problems with that.
And also another thing is, have no shame about it. It's easy to get onto you if you carry shame in your heart about it. If I've been with someone who's been with so many people, but only like, I'm what? That kind of attitude.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to tease her about it here and there as a joke. The same way I might get teased about certain things I've done. Like, I used to be a break dancer at some point.
Did you?
Yeah, exactly. No one would think that. But you might tease her.
Break dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was out here on the floor, like, breaking my ankles and doing certain bits and bobs. But point being is, and that's the thing as well, because as far as being open, the reality is, in the dating game, that's what it's become. You have to see it like that. Same with jobs. At the end of the day, you might have to go through so many people, first of all, to find the one you're looking for. Second of all, to actually become the person that the person you would want will be attracted to. So an example, if you was to ask women honestly, one of the biggest things they look for is confidence, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with confidence is more psychological. So the question is, where do us men get our confidence from? Now, because of conditioning, oftentimes we get a lot of our confidence through how many girls we've dealt with. So to get that certain level of confidence you may want, it may have to require me going through certain amount of people. Now the question is, how do I carry myself about that? And you know how it is. Sometimes we want what we want, but we don't necessarily want to know, or we might be disgusted by the process. So the idea, like, if I was to get something from McDonald's, cost 50p. But if I had to, like, if it was giving me like rats instead of beef, I'm not trying to hear that. It's cheap enough for me to buy, so I'm cool with it. So I think whoever you are, whatever you've done, as long as you own it. First of all, it will weed out the people who weren't really into you anyway. Because if I'm honest and upfront about something with no shame, and you still find that issue, then we were never meant to be together anyway. So I'm saying, shout out to her. All the other girls that feel liberated to do the same thing, cool. I have no problem. It's just what's the word? Redressing the balance, because there's a lot of girls who've been feeling that they've been shagged for a minute. Now, to touch on your point with this is the thing I hate, because it's one of them things, you know, when sometimes you chat to somebody, and you might put them into the boyfriend, girlfriend category, someone I would just sleep with. Before, I was just seen as the boyfriend kind of, if you liked me, you just be the boyfriend. And the worst thing that annoyed me about it, and in the same way I knew a lot of my friends were like the dirtbags, were like, yo, I'll only just have sex with him. Now, my point to what you mentioned is, you can easily become boyfriend material just from casually sleeping with someone. So they might have only just seen you as such. So I've been in a situation you've been in where it's like, yo, there's someone I'm talking to. If you're going to be in a serious relationship, it's going to be with me. It's not going to be with anyone else. But you ended up casually fucking and then you start catching feelings for someone else. So it's one of them, how can I describe it? So the idea that I really like you, that's why I'm gonna hold back on sex. No, dead that. I'm not trying to hear that. If you're attracted to me and you don't mind, and this is for those who aren't virgins or not trying to preserve their virginity until after marriage.
Big up to those people as well.
Yeah, shout out to them. If you're sexually
Leave
if you're sexually active and you're attracted to me and you're trying to hold off on sex, no, dead that. Maybe we're not supposed to be. But the only reason you should be holding off on sex for me is either because you're not attracted to me, which is fine, or you're waiting until marriage, and I can respect that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, most
well, we got She's Got to Have It. That's the name of the.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, I'm checking the
watch
shit
that.
out of that.
So
watch
good.
that.
Literally, I'm putting together like a list of shows I need to watch during Christmas.
Okay.
That's already on there.
Okay, maybe this week, if I have a chance, before Wednesday, next Saturday, then yeah, I might, yeah. I'm gonna try to do it. We could talk about it in the next show.
Touching on that, have you guys ever seen two films? It's called Two Can Play That Game and Three Can Play That Game.
No.
Oh, no, I've seen
Vivica
Two Can
Fox.
Play That Game,
No.
but I'm not seeing three.
Then there's a sequel, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Afterwards, I think it's like a year or two apart.
Yeah.
And it's basically on the same lines of a woman in Vivica A. Fox who is kind of like a female dating coach,
Okay.
teaching women how to kind of redress the balance, and she goes up against a dude. And point being is, if I had a daughter, I'm teaching her the game. Everyone should know the game. It makes the whole concept of finding the one a lot easier. Go watch that. If you're gonna watch, I'm definitely gonna watch that.
More importantly, is teaching your son the game, because the women know the game. The women are the game now. Men need to know the game. Like, we're losing at the
Women
game
are doing
right
it
now.
better.
You know how many?
We're losing the game right now. I need to go back to school. I need an education, because I was saying, you know what, this is time. We're going into that segment of do you know what? Woo! Let me stop before we go into that segment of R.I.P. My Pitiful Love Life, right? Because I've been on a bit of a spiritual one of late. I've been speaking to people, and you know what? I'm actually having a good time. I call it My Pitiful Love Life, but it's not really pitiful. So you know what I'm going to say? I'm renaming the segment My Wonderful Love Life. Yeah, right? Because everything is actually kind of.
The other one.
I don't care what.
You don't know? Yeah, I hear you.
It's positive vibes coming over here.
People, what do you prefer?
I don't care what you care, people. Anyway. So
I get where you're coming from, though.
In this week's.
Yeah, be more positive.
Yeah.
In this week's John's Positive Love Life.
Okay.
Let's change again, yeah.
Right. I'm meeting, and I've said this before on the podcast, but so many assured women, and I'm a delicate flower.
Oh, Jesus.
I am a flower, a young flower trying to bloom.
Big John, aka Delicate Flower.
Delicate flower. And women are out here rough. I don't know if I'm.
You're old school, man.
You know.
You know what?
I'm having conversations with women, and they're like, "Well, this happens all the time, and it happened in the last couple of weeks. If you ain't fucking, then why are we doing this then?
Nah.
Why are you giving me
Literally
these ultimatums? I'm a delicate
Wait,
flower.
are these girls literally...
If you ain't fucking, then what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we
You can't
doing?
say that.
Now,
Shout
to touch on your positive love life,
Oh my God.
this is what you should do. You should maybe give yourself credit for who you are.
Thank
the
you,
fact
my
that
brother.
you may be drawing that out of them.
Thank you,
And
my
to
brother.
somebody else, they may not be so forward.
See the positive. Yeah.
I am.
And this
is what I'm saying.
And this is the thing. So this is an example of how I would defend quote unquote hoes. You know, I always just keep myself credit like, right, it might be that she's only that way with me. And there's times I might have seen as such. So you think about it, right? The journey you've been on in terms of your life and your, not necessarily just for girls, but just in life. And I've noticed this as well, because I remember I did recruitment. And the biggest thing I learned, because when I was doing recruitment, I was trying to study the right words, the right moves to make. And the funniest thing I learned from it was, it's not about what you say or do, it's about who you are. So they said the best recruiter was Jesus. And all he said was, you come follow me. But they followed because of who he was and who he is, rather than what he says or done.
Yeah.
So give yourself credit.
Don't worry about that. I give myself credit with the day. I'm just saying, in this new world we in, it's like
The new world you created, sir.
yeah, thank you. I've created this. And most men what are you talking about, John? But it's hard. Like I'm getting numbers after numbers after numbers after situations after this person's house after this person's house.
Oh, yeah.
And please believe, in all of these situations, I ain't have sex with no one. Okay. In the sense of, because people are too forward. They're too forward.
Okay.
Can I go on?
No, please.
Okay. Can I ask, what do you feel about when, and both this is a question for both of you, of women approaching men?
Love it.
I love
Yeah.
it.
It's 2017.
Love
Chat
it.
to man.
Yeah.
However,
have you ever had them?
grab
Have
me
you had
up.
lines? Have you had lines come up?
I
had bars. I'm telling you, I was single. I had bars. You know what I did one time? I went to someone. I bet I can guess your name.
oh my.
That's so bad.
Yo,
You be a shit.
I got high
man.
five you
It
that.
worked.
You be a
In fact,
shit.
fuck, his name began with a B because I was like, boo, boo. Anyway, I was like, boo. I actually was quite close. I'm not gonna say the name, but yeah.
No, first of
That
all,
works.
because when I was
You look
younger,
like a shit man. Yeah.
What?
So you went up to the guy and go, I guess I can.
I went.
I'm
Yeah.
back
No,
again.
actually, no. The first I saw him and I was like, oh, he's hot, and I thought, all right. I saw it a couple hours later. I saw him on his own. He was standing at the end of the kitchen, and I thought, I'm gonna make my move. So I walked up to him. I thought, oh, it'd be cute if I sat down on the counter and, where he was standing. So I went to sit on it, but it was soaking wet. And I was like, oh fuck! So I was like, I couldn't
You
stand. I
gonna
was like,
commit?
oh. And I was like, and he was like, no, you're right. Do you want to sit here? I was like, yeah, I did. And he wiped it clean for me, and then we were chatting. That's when I tried. I thought, let me try these bars on him. It only worked. It worked. I was seeing him for a while, so.
nah, I love, first of all, I love that. Because at the end of the day, everything should be more mutual. It shouldn't be the same way I love two-sided conversations. So, sometimes you might be trying to draw a chick, and it's like bare questions. It's like an interview. I'm asking the question, you're answering it. And then, okay, I'm asking you another question. I'll initiate the
That's
conversation.
not organic. It needs
That's
to
like,
be,
it should be like, so
more of a
I'm
flow.
good. How you getting on? Da-da-da-da-da, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Like, let me find out about you. So that's first of all one of the signs I know that she's involved, where she actually giving a shit in the conversation. Now it's just a thing where a few seconds, if I'm getting bare, like for like a Q&A, you know what? God bless you. Have a nice evening. But to touch on your point about approaching, at first when girls was doing it, in my mind it's like, wow, she must be like, there must be some sort of sinister agenda. She must be
because there used to be like a
finesse chick
stigma
or-
if a woman did that.
Yeah, but now it's like, no. Let me just give myself credit.
it's more acceptable.
I've been making a point all my life to improve as a person. So
I'm liking how this conversation's actually meshing really well. I'll give you another example that happened literally 2 days ago. No. So I was on a date on Wednesday. Date was fire, yeah? Good time. We're in a particular bar. Shout out to this bar, I'm not going to say the name. If you're listening, you see my face there like in the last 3 days in a row. So you know.
Big chill.
I didn't say it was that one. But anyway, so I'm with this chick. We're lipsing up at the bar,
John.
Listen,
he's always
whatever.
You gotta have a new nickname with that the lips and things
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I'm
The way
lipsing up
you-
at the bar. It's cool. It is what it is, people. Yeah.
Oh, whose phone's
I'm grown
ringing?
as-
You cussed me last week, yeah, for my phone
Sorry,
ringing.
guys, that was me. I'm professional. So anyway, we're lips at the bar. The bar manager. Yeah, I've seen this thing before. I was like, do you know what? I thought she was cute, the bar manager. So anyway, she's like, oh, hey guys, blah 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 blah. I want to buy you some shots.
Okay.
Right? I was like, oh, hell yeah. All right, cool. So she pours the shots, 2 tequilas, 1 sambuca. Right? Bam, we do the shots. The bar manager gives me a look, and I swear to God, in this look, I see you, I would bang you, I'ma let you do your thing. I saw that from a 3-second look, and I just stored that in my brain. So this is how savage women are at this present moment in time, or liberated. Maybe like the woman from She's Gotta Have It. The very next day, I'm in this same bar, right? See this woman, she's drinking this time, she's not working. So eventually I approach her, I was like, hey, what's up, blah, 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 blah. She's like, so you by yourself this time?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, no, I'm with my friend. And she goes, so you're by yourself. And I was like, I was like, she goes, don't think I ain't seen you with multiple girls in this bar. This is the bar that I take. Everyone will go. Yeah. Any girl you've been with me, I'm taking you. Yeah, right? She goes, I see you. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I was like, let's go have a shot. So we go have a shot. Then I was like, after we had a shot, I was like, so when we gonna have a shot outside this bar, and I'm gonna take you out. She's like, well, I'm free this weekend. And I was just like, happy, obviously. Okay. Yeah. Hi. But at the same time, I was like, you just saw me on a date and you offered my date a drink. And then, but you want to go out with a date? Savage life.
What I'm going to say, John, is welcome to the late cake, son. As I said, there's levels to the thing. Yeah. And I remember some of my OGs used to tell me about this, where it's one of the reasons why I don't like dealing with girls who have a man. Mm-hmm. Because there's a dark side. And what I mean by dark side is you can bring certain things out of people where they're that attracted to you, they do things they wouldn't necessarily do. So it might be meaning it's difficult for you to trust somebody. But in your mind, you feel like, wow, she didn't come across somebody that would do that. But at the same time, and this is just not girls, it's humans. I think humans desire what other people desire. It makes it a little bit more attractive.
This is what I was going to say.
So don't be too surprised. Like she was available on that. And again, it's the same thing. We know what the game is. We're pursuing numbers. Some people's like, yo, right now I'm just gonna have fun, nothing too deep, just came from a long-term relationship. So before I used to judge people for moving like that. Nah, no judgment. If anything, that probably increased your chances of chatting to her.
Real talk. Because
rather than you just be there by yourself all the time.
I saw her the next day. This was yesterday, and then it was a little bit more of a frost, not as welcome as I was expecting. Oh. Considering I was technically supposed to take her out today. But I ain't messaging her. I got too many shaman things on the plate, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's beside the point. Moving on, but it's been a great...
Oh yeah, I was gonna touch on your point, because you were talking about the issue with girls moving so fast. Shout out to one of the things you can do is you not stick on the butt. You set the tempo. Where is a thing where, cool, we're fucking when we say we're fucking. Yeah. Or you just friend zone them quick. Yeah. Rather than literally say, I just see you as a friend and da-da-da-da. Just deal with it head on rather than let it spin up. Yeah, so my point is take control of the situation if you honestly feel that way. I remember, I wish I could remember my brother's name. Remember because when we first met, it was in like Shoreditch High Street. Remember your boy, John? He was because he was talking about how, because he's sick in the way he likes to take control of certain situations or whatnot. Move like that, bro. Shout out to him, by the way.
What was the other thing we were talking about in the car, Kim? You said you wanted to...
Oh, yes. I saw a... Let's see if I can find it on my phone. I was trolling through Instagram and I saw a really nice picture of these women, different types of women from different cultures. So, for instance, you had like an Asian woman with a beautiful sari. You had a Native American with the headdress, and so like pictures like that. Mm-hmm. And the caption was something along the lines of, "Look how beautiful it is without appropriating culture." Mm-hmm. And I liked the picture. I thought it was a good post. But I went through the comments. And I saw a lot of negative feedback from from white people saying, what is this? This is reverse racism. But when we wear it, that people want to make a big problem out of it, And it's just like, you don't get it. You absolutely don't get it. What our problem is that you will ridicule us for wearing these things, and okay, maybe not you specifically, but like you know what I mean. I can't find
certain ignorant people.
My mind's gone blank.
Okay, you're saying.
But you know what I mean, yeah.
So basically, when let's say wearing cane rolls for women, you know, box braids or whatever they were, when black women used to wear it, they used to get ridiculed.
And some
then all
would
of a
say
sudden,
they wouldn't wear,
one white
were
woman
allowed to
who's
wear it in
popular,
school or something, or were allowed to wear it to work.
and then one Kardashian makes it popular, wears it one time, then all of a sudden,
and they've changed the name of it.
it's the way forward.
Yeah.
You know? But that's the concept of cultural appropriation I talk about all the time. I've spoken about it on the podcast. It's wider for me now than it was before. It's been happening since the dawn of time. Black people of colour have been making things popular, and then people will appropriate over the time. We've seen it with Little Richie and Elvis. Eminem is a great rapper, but by no means you can tell me how is this guy gone 10 times platinum multiple times, and there are other people who have been there who are just as good as M. And just know there are many rappers that are just as good as M.
Boys to 5
Just as good
Boys
as
to
M.
5
And hold about this.
Yeah.
Hold up. Just as good and just as popular as well.
No, it's true. I hear that.
Right?
I hear that. Yeah.
There are so many
Justin
examples.
Timberlake.
And I love Justin.
Oh, I do. But that
love
used
Justin.
to piss me off because there were
But,
so many different artists that were better than
You know,
him.
you see what I'm saying? There's so many examples of this. Even like I love Adele. I love Sam Smith is a cool singer. Yeah. Ed Sheeran is a cool guy. But Ed Sheeran is just this guy who plays the guitar that makes black music, fam. Like, and we're the black people with guitars that, and I can tell you 100 of them that are way more bad man. But we always look for, and partly it's because we live in a demographic that is a country that's predominantly white, and we need to accept this paradigm. So people are going to go with what they identify as. So for cultural appropriation from a white standpoint, it is where it's just been happening for a long time ago. But what I'm seeing now, which I have a problem for, is cultural appropriation the other way around.
What?
Now, I know it comes from a place of maybe oppression, where you wanna be a part so badly, that you're gonna beg to be a part of whatever popular thing there's gonna be. But if I see any more fucking black people go in Marbella, where you don't even like Marbella, or I see black people talking about, oh yeah, we're going to IB for this summer, and you don't even like house music. You don't. It's a house island.
No, how is that appropriation?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, because I'm waiting because that was the way it was set up was so like substantial.
Yeah.
And the punchline.
Hold on, we ain't done. We ain't done. Yeah. Or the banging out. Now it's became so culturally appropriated that it's actually becoming more black than white. Croatia. Yeah.
Big up Croatia. I've been 3 times.
So,
bro,
it's sick.
And I spoke about this before. We need to be a part of the Brit Awards now. Why don't the Brits recognise us? We need to get the table at the Brits. We need to be hit. Nah. Guys, my people, them. I understand now when white people leave these places and like, you know what, there's too many people of colours. We don't need to be in these places. We really don't need to be in these places. That I'm telling you, let my point land and then you can discuss.
Yes.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm playing devil's avocado right here. Right now, what I'm trying to say is, you've seen throughout your life, if you're my age, so I'm in my 30s, I'm 30 years old, right? So now, historically, Ibiza has been a white island. Would you agree? And it's not even up for debate. It is.
Yeah.
Marbs, the exact same thing, right? But now it's on TV, being made popular by Towie and the likes. We're now seeing black people in their droves wanting to go to Marbs.
Why is that?
Hold on. But why is it good? Hold on.
Let him finish.
It's a what happened to your? We had the island. We had Iron Napa. We had the Black Island. Iron Napa was the Black
But no,
Island.
it goes on and
You want a bit of R&B, eh? A little bit of jungle,
and garage,
a little bit of garage, a little bit of
Iron
hip
Napa
hop.
back in the
You go
day.
Iron Napa, yeah. Now you're going Marbs. You go in Ibiza.
Iron Up is not popping
And
no
then-
more though. That's
Listen,
why.
no, it's not popping because people are trying to go to Ibiza and Marbs. We need to stop that.
We got
That's
bad
cultural
parties.
appropriation.
It
It
is
is
not.
cultural appropriation at its highest order.
is.
Guys,
No.
we need to go back to the roots.
It would be
Iron
nice.
Apple and things for your own self.
No,
This is me
no,
playing devil
that would-
advocate just
One
up in you
Go on, go on.
guys. It's not necessarily my view.
The views expressed in the past 2 minutes are sincerely only John's opinion. And feel free to holler him
concur.
at any of his socials which will be mentioned later on in this program.
This is just for dialogue, guys.
He's played devil's avocado. However, this broadcaster genuinely believes that it may be his opinion. So feel free to challenge him on any of his socials at any given day or time. Thank you for this message. Listen to this message.
That is just John's opinion, JJ.
Now,
Oh,
I strongly disagree. The reason why I
Yeah,
say
I
that is
disagree.
this.
Why you got Marbs?
First of all, how many
Are you from
times
Essex?
has when we've done our own thing, because let's be clear, touching what you mentioned, is one of those cultural things where Caucasian people historically have shown to feel very easily alienated. So oftentimes, if we're not invited to partake, we feel a certain way about it.
Does your mum know what fit tummy tea is? I'm going to keep on doing this.
Oh,
little
my
jab.
mum doesn't even know how to navigate Facebook, and I love her
Trust
for that.
me.
You know them ones.
Yeah.
However, touching on my point.
So why you going Marbs?
So, point is, whenever we have done something, white people historically, or if you look at the stats, they've gravitated to something that someone that looks like them are doing.
Of
So
course.
I might like black people.
That's people in general, though.
yeah.
That's people in
True.
general. That's what it is. We're
I'd
very
argue-
tribal.
but the
The
thing is-
human race is very
But the thing
tribal.
is, I'd argue more so. Maybe it's because I'm living in this country. I've never lived back home in Nigeria, so I'm more aware of it. But the idea of me, because of where I am, I'm open to all other cultures. I don't have to see a black person doing this for me to like it. I don't have to see a black person doing bangura music to like it. Whereas, and this might be an issue back home amongst Nigerians in the majority, like mainly being black. So I've often found that most white people might like something, but they're going to like it even more if a white person that looks like them or reminds them of someone like in their family is doing it. Case in point, Elvis Presley. There's many, even like Beatles actually. Beatles is a bit even better example. Beatles said, all we ever tried to do was replicate Motown. That's pretty much how I sound.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
sound
an-
like
there's-
Motown.
there was an opening in the documentary, and Motown, by the way, their concept was, our formula is very simple. We make music that black people like and white people will buy. And I actually said, we actually added like tambourines and guitars because white people love
They
those
love a
like,
tambourine.
instruments.
They do.
So from that point, and then when you had like a Beatles, for example, come in, it's blowing like Wi-Fi. And what the Caucasians exposed is a great point you touched on, which I think is true, which is we always seem to gravitate a bit more to people who look like us that are trying to do what we're trying to do. An example might be, if you heard of a business opportunity that sounds almost too good to be true, and it's just go there like bare white people, but you see someone who's black or see someone who's Filipino or someone the same ethnicity as you, you feel a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, you're like,
about it.
yo!
Or even because with us now, it's not even a take away race, just someone from the ends.
Yeah.
Someone from the ends, like, or
Feel more
someone,
comfortable,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah. So this thing ain't just the generals then.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? It's just, so my point being is, because this has been happening for so long, black people who want to go Marbella, by all means,
Thank you.
You go
Listen,
take,
Yes, go.
you go do the thing. You
I wanted you to say everything you said, right? Now I'm going to hit you over the head with this.
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
corn.
everyone can do what. This is a conversation that I was actually having, and this is why I was bringing it up. To be fair, and I was flip flopping from all over the place, doing what I'm doing right now. Anyone can go wherever they want to. Color means nothing, but we need to take into consideration the world and the time that we're living in. So what you're having from a Western point of view, from a UK point of view, you have people of colour that are losing their cultural identity. So their parents, their original heritage. So I'm a Nigerian man. So over the time, we are becoming more and more English in our way of
true.
thinking.
Yeah,
hold
true.
on.
I'm saying true.
But hold on.
Okay.
So going Marbs, going Ibiza is the English side of us going, oh, I want to fit in with English culture. here's the problem. Here's where the problem really lies. You ain't English, bro, and you ain't never gonna be English. So before you know it, generations gone, you've now lost all your cultural identity because you wanted to be Mr. Ollie, 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 and the next thing you know, you don't even know who you are and they don't like you. That's a massive problem. By trying to appropriate, what's appropriate? Is that the word I'm using? Yeah. Culturally appropriate the English culture. We've lost our culture, and then 50 years down the line, you've just been fucked over. You've got nothing. You know what? Yeah? So it's important, and this is what I'm saying, it is important not to, I'm not saying people should be segregated. I don't believe in segregation. That stuff doesn't really work. But it's important for you to be strong in yourself, to have an iron apple, to have something that you can be amongst like-minded individuals where you can enjoy yourself and still understand that pie and mash is fucking great, yeah?
Oh, I disagree on that. Mash is
I'm just giving an example. It's not that great. But a bit of pie and mash is, but you know what's really, do you know what's really good? An area or an island where I can go where it's just curry. Or it's jerk chicken. So I can get a little bit, so I'm a well-balanced individual. What's happening now is the balance is shifting. There's no balance no more. It's more English, 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 English. And then the United Kingdom, the great United Kingdom, really, really ain't working for you at this present moment in time. We got Brexit over here. We got UKIP telling you to fuck off over there. We got the rise of the English Defence League. So where are you gonna be once you thought you're Tom from Essex or you're Duncan from Aberdeen? Yeah, but you really ain't Duncan and Tom. Where are you gonna be? You're gonna find yourself, you ain't going Marbs no more. You're going Congo for holiday.
So
trust me when that happens.
Got it. So because if the lead line is man going to Marbs, threw me off. Now I get your full point.
I'm just trying.
And I get it. Imagine now, if the new wave, instead of us going Lanzarote and all them places, all the man would just go to Nairobi.
That would be dead.
I hear your point, but I don't even know if Nairobi has a nightlife.
Everything.
Yeah, but that was like to my thing. It's like blame the promoters, because Iron Apple used to be popping back in our day. But what is there for us anymore? I mean, like when I went on a really good festival in Antigua, fucking wicked. It was D-Jam Festival. That I think has stopped. So that is a good point. We need to have more nights for us. I mean, not just specifically for coloured people of colour. What the hell?
I don't really get
people of colour. Yeah, and we should promote within ourselves.
And the reason why we're even at this stage, here's the bigger thing. The reason why we're even at this stage is because, as in this country, there is not, by the powers that be, there's not an acceptingness of culture. So the power, the people of power are not even embracing Filipino culture, or not even embracing Nigerian culture or Ghanaian culture or Asian culture. It's there, but it's not embraced anymore because.
Was it embraced in the first place?
It was forced upon. So it had to. That's why curry's the English national dish, because Asians forced that shit into this country. They forced you to like that. They forced every shop. Bare Indian restaurants, they forced it upon. But now what's happening? Their kids are like, well, we're not really. So now it's not forced upon. So now that real
was I'll change that to they stood by and didn't bend.
Okay, yeah.
That generation. So like, this is our food. We're sticking by our own values, and I definitely agree with your point, because I've noticed a lot of the Asian community, they can settle anywhere, any part of England, and to some degree probably better than black people. I can't speak on the Filipino culture. Preserve their culture. So a lot of times, for example, someone who's maybe Indian American can actually bring the Indian accent like it's nothing. Whereas in America, you've got African Americans where, and again, I think it's a generation.
They're not first generation.
African Americans, literally
like,
don't know where they're from.
They
my grandmother considers herself American. What the fuck can I do? You know what I mean? Like, my grandmother considers herself where are you from? I'm from Mississippi. No, I'm really from Mississippi. Anywhere else, I couldn't tell you. So I get your point. And I think it's just one of those things of, in terms of, let's think of more practical things. What can we do? I think one of the things we can definitely do, an example might be, I just thought at the top of my head, Literally, you, your man, them, you, your friends, you have an evening, you have like a big dinner night, and everyone cooks food from whichever the country they're from.
Great, that's cool.
You know?
That's what I'm talking about. It's definitely what I'm getting at this. I'm not saying exclusion is the key here. What I'm trying to say is
Remember your
create
own-
something. Make sure there's white people there. Make
Yeah,
sure there's
yeah.
Asian people. Everyone there. But
Everyone's
make sure
inclusive.
you create something. Don't try and jump on the bandwagon of an industry like the Brits that do not want people of colour there. So stop trying to beat down that door that doesn't want you.
Create
Don't go to Marbs, because I'm telling you, people don't want you in Marbs, do not want you in Marbs. Do not get it twisted. Don't go to Ibiza, because I'm telling you, right now, the shit that I keep on hearing, they don't want people of colour in Ibiza. Not at all. Not even the government there, let alone to the people raving there. So create something that white people could go to, black people could go to, these people could go to, that people. Create something new for all of us that's not excluding, and then you trying to beg to be a part of that club. That's what I'm talking about. Stop trying to appropriate culture that doesn't want you. There we go.
This is the thing, because that might be the attitude, and then things change over 50 years based on... Because honestly, I do think integration, like if you got an issue towards white people, hang around white people a bit more, and then your issues will relax, in my opinion. Vice versa with different races. So I definitely get where you're coming from, where we should all be able to dibble and dabble in other people's cultures, but we should still have our own culture prevalent. So you might say there's an island for this, there's an island for that. We should have an island specifically for Afro beats or any kind of ethnic quote unquote music. And I completely...
And anyone can go to these islands.
But to be honest with you, any of these islands wouldn't want us there to begin with. That's the assumption I'm going with. Because the islands are close to like the Mediterranean, like Spain.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be these islands. We could just, they could be
Like I
anywhere.
was saying, like
The spot is Nairobi.
We can have it in Birmingham, in Aston, where it's mad West Indians. Start something off.
You know what's so funny? Yeah, I've always said, anyone that's like been to like who's from Birmingham, I've chatted to you. I've always wanted to go. And literally the first sentence after that is why.
And I was
it's
like,
a shithole.
I'm always in Birmingham because my cousin. Shout out to Franca. I'm always there because of my. Hey, leave my cousin alone. Leave my cousin alone. Yeah, no, I'm always in Birmingham. Not always now, but whenever I'd say I'm going to Birmingham, everyone always asks me why.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, it could be a shithole now, but if we all come together, it could become the spot.
It could be like the new.
But it's what I'm saying. That like
get away from the getaway.
I always have fun there.
First of all, understand and recognise the best,
the
hottest UK accent is the Brummie accent.
Are you for real?
I'm not sure.
I love that. I melt every time.
I'm not sure.
I melt every time.
For me, London all day. Preferably South London, but that's just
London definitely. Out of the UK, London, actually Irish. I like an Irish accent.
Look, I like, because you know what's so funny? This is slightly offensive. Do you remember the TV show Alf Wheatus and Pet?
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what's funny? I used to, like, because I thought it was a comedy, because I used to laugh just at the accent. Exactly, because to me the accent was funny.
I've never seen it, but
it's like, I think it's like a drama straight mini comedy, but the accents to me were so hilarious. Just them saying like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That used to make me laugh so much.
Where are they from?
Oh, Newcastle. So the Geordie accent was insane. So I can't lie. It was like an oxymoron whenever I came across a black person who had a regional accent. Outside of London, it was like, my brain can't compute. But obviously over time, you get more and more used to it. And to be honest with you, going back home, if I go back home with my British voice, I'm English, bro. Even though no one here in this country English can pronounce my name properly without like a couple of like GMVQ module classes, a couple of seminars. Like, it's one of them, and I think there's a mass generation of people who aren't really where they're from originally, and they aren't really where they've been. So if you're Somalia, for example, we talk about the human trafficking. Apparently, Germany is one of the biggest countries when it comes to welcoming immigrants.
Okay,
it's almost like they've done it as an apology for their Nazi history. So you get Somalians speaking German and they consider themselves German. It's a mind trick, right? Mm-hmm. But that's what's happening. So a lot of people are embedding in the cultures that they're living in. Mm-hmm. An example would be, and I don't know this, so it's more of a question: how do white people who live in Nigeria and who've been living in Nigeria for a while get into the Nigerian culture? Because I'm sure there's a bag of people who are
it's
white.
Simple, they don't. It's called colonization. They did it already. They don't get into the culture. They just do.
And this
they
is
just go there and own. That's what they do.
It's a great point because there's quite a few Asian people who have settled in like places like Kenya, other parts of Africa. But as far as they're concerned, I might be Kenyan, but I'm Indian.
Oh yeah, real talk.
So my point being, there's probably like a group of people who are white who have the thick Nigerian accent. But again, I can imagine there's a lot of them who I just happen to live in Nigeria.
But they don't consider
there's a community of white people where we preserve our own whiteness, but we just happen to be
my aunt, she's German. She's German, but she Nigerian in the mud.
Yeah.
She Nigerian in the mud.
The same way there's certain bit like, there's some Nigerians here, there's also African people here, they've been here for like 30, 40 years, their accent has not gone at all. Yeah. It's like,
I thought Filipinos as well, yeah.
This is the thing, and I get your point, just preserving of culture. It's something that we just have to continue.
We have to.
Because
that's what's going to be left of you. Yeah. Like that, it's in your being, and don't kill your being by just fully immersing yourself in the culture. If this culture was more accepting, then it'll be different. If this culture was about, do you know what, we're all one and kumbaya, then do you know what? That's great, but it really isn't. So
to touch on your point, Kim, and this is probably for those who want to become leaders. Everything that was ever done was at one point considered impossible, or it was showered. So just imagine now, if I said to people, cool, we're gonna make Birmingham the spot. Most people from Birmingham are gonna like clown. Never find anyone else. So all of a sudden, if it then happens, I'm considered some sort of pioneer. Because you went against how many people disagreed with the thing and da. Oftentimes, I feel like us people, we kind of wait on someone else to make something pop off rather than believing in the potential. Yeah. And shout out to women, by the way, who do this, where they will deal with someone based on the potential. That's just a sidebar, but
it's a time check. Time check in there.
It's like, it's been an hour. Okay. You got emails?
I got one email.
Yay.
Yes. Really good one. I'm gonna call her Vanessa. Vanessa met a guy, likes a guy, been with him for 3 months. Okay. Vanessa likes to cook spicy food. Yeah. Her boyfriend doesn't like spicy food. Oh. Now, she said for his birthday, he said that he wanted to try some of her
food, that's good. That's good.
And he's from Ivory Coast. She's from Nigeria, but he's born here. She's born here, right? Okay. So he must be from that white place part of Ivory Coast where he's very salt and pepper bland in his taste buds. Yeah, very English in his eating. So he was like, I want some Nigerian food. Like, can you cook that, babe, for my birthday? So Vanessa for the birthday, she cooks it. He's like, this is too spicy. Blah 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 blah. What you do? Blah 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 blah. Chucks the food away, right?
Oh, he chucks the food away?
Chucks the food away. Oh. She goes, it was really upsetting, but I was like, it's okay because it's his birthday. No. So after that, he said, like, they had an argument and he realised he was in the wrong. And then he was like, babe, I'm going to make more of an effort to make spicy food, right? So she's been giving him, like, more spicy food, so they can, it's only 3 months, so they can bond better. But she can see that he still doesn't like eating the food. She's like, what can she do in this situation to make it help? I'm gonna bring this up to you guys.
I think because one of two things. You can either accept someone's difference and roll with it regardless. Yeah. And again, when I accept someone's difference, I might tease you about it. For example, I've dealt with girls who have been vegan, I've dealt with girls who haven't been, and I'll banter to death with vegan, the ones. Yeah. But another thing is, you don't give someone who's new to alcohol like raising nephews. You gotta start very, very small. Yeah. And it depends also how much somebody embracing your culture, how much it means to you. Because if it means everything to you, then that might be just a deal breaker for you. Where in terms of, because I can't lie, the idea of throwing out the food is disrespect. That's
disrespectful.
That's totally. Disrespect. Even if I don't like it, either we're still eating it or it's for you to eat. We just put it up in a container, put it in the fridge, then you eat it. But to throw it is wild. And again, because again, to me, it's an oxymoron. A black person doesn't like spice, it's nuts. However, I've come across a lot of them. So I think all you can do, if you still like this person, just keep trying. Yeah. And one of the things, and I don't know how Ivorian cuisine is by comparison to Nigerian cuisine, but say he's more British. One of the things,
Marbs.
because you know with British, for example,
Yeah.
the British are very much into presentation. And you know Nigerian cuisine is the complete opposite.
I like Filipino food, just put on.
Yeah, it looks like throw up and diarrhea by comparison. So you can easily dress it up, make it more presentable, so they become, and also patience. First of all, you've only been with each other for 3 months. The fact he's even want to try your food is a milestone.
That's a good thing.
Like, so just be patient with it. It might be a thing where over time, where there's more months or more years, he gets more and more into it. But let's be clear, I'm a true believer as well in the fact that who your woman is or the mother of your children is going to be a great reflection on your kids. And by that I mean, if my baby mother is Jewish, there's a strong chance my child's going to be Jewish, whether I like it or not. So there's a strong chance that your children, if you get to that point, will be eating that kind of food. So you know them one. So that's where when it comes to mixing or dealing with people with other cultures, you have to be open to that and accept it. So my answer to her would be, keep trying, work on the smallest, like break it down. The food he likes, use that as a reference. So say, for example, he likes pie and mash. You can definitely do like pie and mash and, I don't know, use like Maggi stock cubes to season the mashed potatoes.
Wow, you crazy.
You know, I don't even like.
Does he not like the food purely because of the spice? Or
I don't know. It's too. He doesn't like spicy food.
If it's just because of the spices, just mild, make it more milder, and then like over time, like his tolerance will build up, and then you can put the spices in as you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, just give it to him. What I do with my daughter is like, get what you're given.
Right, that's how my mum
I'm
trained me.
cooking, you're eating.
That's how my mum trained me, how to get used to pepper. I even remember like flashbacks of me dying, but now I can handle, you can throw anything at me.
You
know, and I'm cool. So it's just training those taste buds.
It's funny because I'm sorry to cut you off. Literally, my mum, like, she's done this to me a couple of times. Done this with raw garlic and with, like, you know, Scotch bonnet pepper. She's like, I bet you can't eat this. I'm like, hey, I'm like, you know, like Scotch bonnet, because you know it takes a second for a kick. Man, this is nothing. I'm grilling tea like a monkey in front of her. 1, 2, 3, bang! Almost died, bro. But spiritually, physically, I was cool, but spiritually and emotionally, like, and then, and literally from there, I've never had anything that in my mind was like too spicy.
Now, for me, Vanessa, I don't know why I always say this. Listen, I'll just break up with the dude. Okay. That's my advice all the time. Just break up with the dude.
Good point.
Just break up.
If he's
it's only 3 months.
You've cooked for him. You've cooked for him, and if he literally threw away your food, no.
That's on one side.
That's a big
break up for him right there. But at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry, I need spicy food, yeah. So there's only so much time I'm willing to invest in the person that's not willing to have spice in their food. And if you're not willing to have spice in your food, it's just not gonna work out for me. Man needs jollof rice, and man needs pepper soup. Man needs, even when you're cooking like other food that is not supposed to be spicy, man will add spice and pepper to it to make it sweet.
No, but real talk,
so
real
might
talk.
as well Vanessa, break up with the dude.
No, real talk. If he had, that is pretty serious. If he literally did throw away your food after you cooked it, do think about your relationship, because that's so disrespectful, and it's after 3 months as well. That's kind of red flags.
In his defense, he did apologize, like, yo, like, based on
he did the right thing.
But it's still wild.
It's
funny because my thing is, right, just the idea of, I don't mind, like, if I'm settled down with someone whose their taste is different than mine, that's okay, my dear. As long as you can cook the food I like, how I like it, we good.
Compromise, it's all about compromise.
The same way, I'm prepared to learn how to cook how you would like it. So I know that one's way. If I'm cooking for myself, I know I might maybe put a little bit less spice, maybe a little less veg, whatever the case may be. As long as you're prepared to adapt, that's
absolutely. It's like my boyfriend doesn't like mushrooms.
Same. High five him on that for me.
But
your boyfriend don't like mushrooms?
They're completely unnecessary.
But
listeners, tell me when you cut that. Yeah, go.
He doesn't like mushrooms. I cook, but it doesn't stop me. I put mushrooms in everything. Everything. I'm like, you gotta learn.
You gotta learn day.
You gotta learn day. You gotta learn day. So I still put it in there.
It's that time. What's your socials, bro?
My socials is EMMILLIO_ on Instagram, and Twitter, and on SoundCloud. My socials is EMMILLIO. Swag London is spelled SWAGLDN. I can't remember the socials, but if you just like Google search that, you should be able to find all their socials as well.
My Instagram is Kim Bobo Fo Show. That is, I can never say that with a straight face. It is KIMBOBOFOSHO. Kim Bobo Fo Show. I'm the only one there on Instagram with that name because it's stupid. But yeah, that's me.
You already know, or you should know, it's JOOG_London on Instagram, and it is JOOG space London on YouTube. Like, guys, subscribe and comment. Shout out to Kim's friends that actually listen to the podcast.
Yeah, shout out to my friends.
I'll be seeing I'll be looking at a couple of analytics here and there. I'll be seeing you be listening. Shout out to one of your buff brethrens as well, but we'll just leave that for another day.
And just on a side note, if you know any one of us and you want to come down and listen, or you want to come down and speak
come down.
or you want to openly challenge any one of us, myself included, because I have no ego and I like debate, feel free to get in touch.
Please feel free. Kim, if any of your homies want to come down and talk some trash, they're more than welcome. Anyone that's doing anything of note, want to come on the show, want to promote their stuff, want to have a platform on here, you're more than welcome. This show is going nowhere. It comes out once a week, baby.
And also, any of you girls that actually want to call Big John Chocolate Thunder to his face, to stroke his ego, feel free to holler.
Bad boy.
Or if anything, holler at me on my socials.
Can't
and they can just do one of them surprise things. Like we have a couple guests just want to come stroke your ego. What's the other thing? Dark Destroyer.
Dark Destroyer.
Was it the Golden Sugar?
Golden Sugar.
God. Has anyone called you that yet?
No. I want to make someone call me that, no, because I'm that guy. But anyway, it's just our opinion, guys. Peace.
Yeah.
See ya.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.